morning students, welcome to session 41 of chapter direct and inverse proportion. So far we have seen direct proportion and inverse proportion, right? So direct proportion and inverse proportion we have seen. So you know, right, what is direct proportion and what is inverse proportion. So direct proportion is simply we can say when quantity increases, quality also increases, right? Whereas in inverse proportion, when quantity increases, quality will decrease, right? Or when quality increases, quantity will decrease. So not only quantity and quality, it can be anything when there are two categories, right? When there are two categories, when one increases, the other will decreases. This is for inverse proportion. When both are increasing, that is called direct proportion, right? So now we'll see the new one called compound proportion. Compound proportion. So let's see what is compound proportion, right? And let's try to understand it. Okay. So what is compound proportion? Sometimes change in one quantity depends upon the change in two or more quantities, right? So sometimes what happens? If we have two or more categories, right? Two or more quantities or whatever we have. If one is changing, this change will be shown some impact on the other two quantities or other two categories, right? So that's what he is saying. Then we equate the ratio of the first quantity to the compound ratio of other two quantities. What he is saying? Then we will be equating the ratio of first. So simply in compound interest, what he is saying? This line is important. Equating ratio of first quantity, right? Equating ratio of first quantity. Let us assume it as A is to B. Okay. This is the ratio of first quantity. Okay. This will be equating to the compound ratio of other two. Let us assume the other two also we have like this. This is second quantity, C is to D. This is second quantity. The other one is E is to F. This is other quantity. Okay. We need to find out the compound ratio of these two. Compound ratio of these two. Okay. After finding compound ratio, you will be getting some other answer like G is to H. Okay. So when you find compound ratio of these two, you will be getting answer as in the form of G is to H. And now this G is to H will be equated to A is to B. Okay, so this is the whole concept of compound ratio, right? So once again I am telling you, we will be having three quantities here. We will be having three quantities. Okay, so what we will do? The change of first quantity will depends on or show some impact on second and third quantity. Okay, the change of first quantity. Suppose the quantity of first one is 2. And we are changing it to 3. This change, which is where we are increasing 1, right? So this change will be impacted on the other two quantities. So how we will be finding the answer in this is, see the ratio of first quantity. If we assume that the ratio of first quantity is A is to B, and the ratio of second quantity is C is to D, and the ratio of third quantity is E is to F. Okay, keep this like this. Keep 1 as it is. We need to find out compound ratio of these two. Compound ratio of 2 and 3. So that you will get answer in the form of G is to H. Okay, this will be called 4. Now we need to equate 1 and 4 so that you will be getting the final answer. Okay, so this is what a brief explanation about compound proportion. We'll move to this question now, first problem, and we'll see how it will be. Okay. So see, consider the mess charges of 35 students for 24 days is 6,300. So mess charges, okay, and number of students and number of days. Okay, number of students and number of days. So what is saying, mess charges is 6,300 rupees. Okay, for how many students? For 35 students. For how many days? 24 days. Okay, mess charges for 35 students for 24 days is 6,300. Now what is saying, how much will be the mess charges for 25 students and for 18 days? How much will be the mess charges? So we don't know. We'll assume it as is x. Okay. Now what we said in the previous example, the ratio of first quantity should be equated to the ratio of the component ratio of other two quantities, right? The ratio of first quantity, here the ratio is 6,300 is to x, and we need to find out should be equal to compound ratio of 35 is to 25, 24 is to 8. So we need to find a compound ratio for this, so that you will be getting answer, and that will be equated to 6,300 is to x. Okay, here we can say that, see, mess charges is 6,300, number of students is 35, number of days is 24. For 24 students, for 24 days, number of students are 35 and the mess is charging is 6,300, right? If number of students decreased, we know, right? If we take an example, okay, our family, right, our home, how much rice mother is cooking for one day. See, we are having 2 people in the house, our family, right? There are only 2 people, okay? And we will be taking 1 kg of rice. Okay, we are only 2 people and we are taking 1 kg of rice. Okay, and that will last for 30 days for 2 people. If we take 1 kg of rice, that will last for 30 days for 2 people. Okay, and after that, what happens? One more relative came to our house. A relative came to our house. So what happens? Now the people will be 3 people, right? So how many days will this 1 kg of rice will last? Will it last for 30 days? When person is increasing, the rice consumption for the particular day will be more, right? Right? For 2 kg, for 2 people, okay, I took this is okay, let us assume it as 10 days, okay. For 2 people, we took 10 kg of rice which lasts for 30 days. When one more person added, a relative came to our house and person is added. So we need to cook more rice, right? Then this will be, days will be decreased, right? Days will be decreased to some x. Rice is same. Rice is same rice. 10 kg of rice, person increased, so number of days will be less. So that is what he is saying. Number of students decreased here also. Number of students is decreased, and rice will, number of days will be 18. We need to find out this x here. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, we'll add one more column here to this box. We'll add one more row. Okay, so we need to find the ratio here. So just write it as 6,300 is to x as we have here, and this will be 35 is to 25. See, 35 is to 25. We have a formula A is to B is equals to A by B, which means 35 is to 25 can be written as 35 by 25. 5 5s, 5 sevens. So 7 by 5. When we are writing A is to B as A by B, similarly A by B can be written as A is to B. Like that, 7 by 5 can be written as 7 is to 5. So here it will be 7 is to 5, and this will be 24 is to 18 can be written as 24 by 18. 6 3 is 18, 6 4 is 24, where it can be 4 is to 3. So 4 is to 3. Okay? Now, see, when number of students decreased, number of days decreased, it impacts on mess charges also, right? Okay? It impacts on mess charges. When people are decreased here, number of people is decreased, number of days also decreased, so the mess charges will be also, obviously it will decrease, right? Which is directly proportional. So this is directly impacting on the mess charges and also on number of days. Similarly, number of days is directly impacting on number of students and also on mess charges, right? So now let's see. So before now, let us write a step. Mess charges is directly proportional to number of students. Here, mess charges is directly proportional to number of students. Okay, mess charges is directly proportional to number of students. So symbolically we can write it as mess charges is directly proportional to number of students. Okay, got it right? Now, so this can be written as that, as we say, directly proportional. 6300 is to x is equal to 7 is to 5. Okay, so this is about mess charges to number of students. Now let us see the other one. So simply again, mess charges is directly proportional to number of days, right? Mess charges is directly proportional to number of days. So write that one also as, okay, let me write it down here. Mess charges is directly proportional to number of days. Because if this increases, this also increases. If this decreases, this also decreases. Similarly, this one. So same, 6300 is to x is equal to 4 is to 3. Okay, we got this one also. Now what we need to find out is the component ratio of these two, right? Let us find the component ratio. So I'm erasing this one. Compound ratio of number of students and number of days, right? Compound ratio of number of students and number of number of students and number of days. Okay, or we can say, which is mess charges. Mess charges is directly proportional to compound ratio of number of students and number of days. So we have a formula to find the compound ratio. See, if you are assuming compound ratio of A is to B, okay, how to find compound ratio is here. See, you have here. Okay, let us write first mess charges, right? What is mess charges? 6300 is to x is directly proportional to compound ratio of number of students is 7 is to 5 and 4 is to 3. For this two, we need to find a compound ratio. Okay, how we are finding compound ratio here is, see, we have a formula, just make a note. Compound ratio, to find compound ratio, okay, we assume like this: A is to B is to C is to D. Okay, this can be written as like this, where A into C is to B into D. Okay, A into C is to B into D. So let us find the compound ratio of 7:2 and 4:3. Similarly, compound ratio of 7:5 and 4:3 is, so we can write 7 into 4, 5 into 3, right? 7 into 4 is to 5 into 3. 7 4s 28 is to 5 is 15, right? And we said it is directly proportional, right? So now (6,300) is to x is directly proportional to compound ratio of 7:5 and 4:3, which is 28 is to 15. So the first step in the question itself, we have said one thing, right? Okay, or else you can do one more as in the textbook, right? So you can make this is equal to, as we said in the first step itself. See, in the example before example, we equate the ratio of first quantity. We equate the ratio of first quantity. We need to equate it to the compound ratio of other two quantities. So if we take like this is equals to here, now we need to find out the x value. See, as you know, right, directly proportional, how it will be directly proportional? What is directly proportional? X1 by x2 is equal to y1 by y2. X1 by 2 is equal to y1 x2, right? So what is x1? This is x1, this is y1, x2 and y2, which means x1 is 6,300 into what is y2? x1 y1 x2 y2 into 15 is equal to y1 is 28 is to x, right? So 6,300 into 15 by 28 is equal to x, right? 6,300 into 15 by 28. Now let us find the calculation for this. Okay, after this you can write the steps. Now write down for direct proportion. For direct proportion, this is the formula steps. Now, so what formula you can use here? So try to get the calculation. 6,300 into 15 by 28. Which table? 3 table 28. No. Okay. Let us take 4 table. Let us try. 4 7s 28. 4 1s 4. 4 5s 20. 3 4 7s 28. No, not even 4 table. So let us try. 2 14s 28. 2 3 6. 2 1s 2. 2 5s 10 and 0. 3150 into 15 by 14. Again we can take 2 table. 2 7s 14. 2 1s 2 1. 2 5s 10 1. 2 7s 14 1. 2 5s 10. So which will be? So let me erase this. One 575 into 15 by 7. Right. Let's see whether we get in 7 table or not. 7 1 7 2 is 14. 1 will be remaining. 7 2 is 14 and 3. Right. 7 1 7. 7 2 is 14. 1. Again 7 2 is 14 and we remain with 3. 7 5 is 35. 225 into 15. Let's multiply it. 225 into 15. 5 5 is 25. 5 2. 5 2 is 10. 11 12. 2 1. 5 2 is 10 plus 1 11. Plus 225. 5 7 3 and 3. So answer is 3375 we got. Let's see. Yes, we got 3375. So this will be the answer. Okay, final answer. Final right one. Therefore, what he asked the question? How much mess charges will be, right? What will be the mess charges for 25 students and 18 students? 18 days. Right now. 3375 will be the mess charges. Will be the mess charges. Okay. So this is your example 1. So hope you understood. If you have any notes, just reach out to me. So here nothing. You need to learn only what is compound ratio, how it will be calculated. That's it. Practice 2-3 times so that we can understand it easily. Okay, we'll have one more problem and we'll close the session. As the problems are a bit big, so we are taking time. Okay, let's see the second problem. 24 workers, 6 days. Number of workers. Okay. Number of hours per day. Number of hours per day. Number of days. Number of days. See, if 24 workers are working every day for 6 hours for 14 days. For 14 days. What is saying? If they work for 7 hours per day and they work for 8 hours, how many workers to be needed? Okay, if 24 workers are, okay, if suppose there are 24 people and each worker is working for 6 hours per day, okay, and they took 14 days to complete the work. 24 workers are there, they are working for 6 hours per one day, like that they are working for 14 days to complete the work. If suppose they are working for only 8 days and per day they are working 7 hours, how many workers to be needed? This is the question. Okay, so we need to find out this. Let us assume it as x as previously as compound ratio. How we will find? 24 is to x, this is 60 is to 7 and this is 14 is to 8. 14 is to 8 can be written as 14 by 8. 2 4 is 8, 2 7 is 14. 7 is to 4, right? This will be 7 is to 4. So keep in a table. You can like this, okay? Right. Here we can say number of workers is inversely proportional to number of hours per day, right? If suppose see 24 workers, they are working for 6 days to complete some work. Forget about the number of days here. Okay. First we need to write one of these two. After that this one and this one. So that's why forget about this one. First look at this two. 24 workers are working per hour per day. They are working 6 days to complete some work. If I said I want you people to complete this work bit early, so that you need to complete this work in just 7 days. Sorry, per hour you need to work 7 hours to complete the work. Okay, then what happens? Number of workers will be less. If they are working for more hours, then work will be completed early, right? So the same time what I am saying, the workers will be changed. Okay, workers will be changed. So that here number of workers is inversely proportional to number of hours per day. When they are working more, the workers will be decreased, right? If they need to work only 6 hours, but what I said I let them work for 7 hours. Work is increasing, right? Here working number of hours is increasing. When number of hours is this is increasing, so this will be decreased, right? When this is increasing, this will be decreased, which is inversely proportional, right? So you can write that step. Number of workers is directly proportional to 1 by number of hours per day. Number of hours per day, right? Got it, right? To write, we will write like this. Number of workers directly proportional to 1 by number of hours per day. When we are reading, we should say like number of hours is inversely proportional to number of hours per day, right? Okay. So what happens now? 24 is to x is directly proportional to, we are saying 1 by 6 is to 7, right? Which is saying we are inversely proportional here. Number of workers is inversely proportional to number of hours per day, right? When you are writing it as directly, you need to write 1 by 6 is to 7. Okay? If you want to write, okay, you can write like this also. 24 is to x is directly proportional to 7 is to 6, because we are saying this is inverse, right? Okay. Inverse ratio of 6 is to 7 is 7 is to 6. Okay? Inverse ratio of 6 is to 7 is 7 is to 6. So we can write 24 is to x is directly proportional to 7 is to x. Okay? Right. Okay. Now we can call it as, when we are writing like this, we can call it as number of workers is directly proportional to 7 is to 6. Number of workers is directly proportional to or else you can remove this step, no need. Okay, we can end up here. So now let us see the other one. Number of workers is similar here also, inversely proportional to number of, we said number of workers. Here also number of workers is inversely proportional to number of days. When workers are working for here if you see days is decreased. When number of days is decreased, workers to be needed is more, right? I said I want you people to work this, to complete this work in quick days, in very number of, quick days in the sense the days will be reduced, okay, in a short period. I want you people to complete this work in a short period. So then what they will say, then we need 2 or more people more, right? They will ask me, when I am ordering some work, when I am giving you some work, right? When I am giving you some work, initially I gave you 1 week to complete this work. But now what I am telling you, you people need to complete this work only in 3 days. Then what you will say, sir, we need 2 or more people to complete this work in a short period. Then when days is decreasing, work will be increased, right? Which is inversely proportional. Exactly, write down once again. Number of workers, same. Number of workers is directly proportional to 1 by number of days, right? So again, which means 24 is to x is directly proportional to 1 by 7 is to 4, which means 24 is to x is directly proportional to, we can write it as 4 is to 7, right? Where what is this? Inverse ratio of 7 is to 4 is 4 is to 7. Okay, so we have written this one also. Now we need to find out the compound ratio. Let me erase this. So as we have a condition, right, we need to equate the ratio of first quantity to the compound ratio of other 2 quantities, right? The ratio of first quantity to be equal to the compound ratio of other 2. As we know, number of workers is directly proportional to compound ratio of number of hours per day and number of days, right? Now compound ratio, okay? Now number of workers is, we said 24 is to x. We said 24 is to x is directly proportional to compound ratio of 7 is to 6 and 4 is to 7. Okay, with what we changed, that we need to write down here. Okay, we said inverse proportion, so that values we should write it here. Okay. Now let us find the compound ratio of 7 is 6 and 4 is 7. Compound ratio of 7 is to 6 and 4 is to 7. Okay, how do you do this? 7 into 4 and 6 is to 7, right? Okay. Now 7 into 4 is to 6 into 7. 7 4 28 is to 6 7s 42. You can divide this one to make the ratio into smaller. Okay, into 40 divided by 42. Okay, whichever you can take two. Okay, let us use it. Okay, 7 4s 28, right? 7 6s 42. 2 2s 4, 2 3 6. So this can be written as 2 is to 3, right? 2 is to 3. And we are saying 24 is to x. Okay, you can keep it is as is equals to 24 is to x is equals to compound ratio of 7 is to 6 and 4 is to 7 is 2 is to 3. So 24 is to x is equal to 2 is to 3. Right? Same as it is inversely directly proportional, right? So what we will do? Same again. x1 by x2 is equals to y1 by y2, which means x1 y2 is equal to y2 x1, right? What is x1 is 24. 24 is to what is y2 3 is equal to what is y1 is 2 into x1 is x. Now 24 into 3 by 2 is equal to x. 24 into 24 into 3 by 2 is equal to x. 2 1s 2 12s. Now 12 into 3 is equal to x. 12 is 36 is equal to x. So we got x value as 36, which means how many workers needed? 36 workers needed to complete the given work in 8 days. Okay, to complete the given work in 8 days if they work for 7 hours per day. If they work for 7 hours per day, they needed 36 workers to complete the work in 8 days. Okay, so write down or complete this, and final step write down. Last step is therefore. Okay, write down again. So hence, same step you can write number of workers required is, okay. Therefore number of workers needed or required is 36. Okay, so I thought of telling you one more example also, but it is taking too much of time. So let me complete that in the next session. Okay, so hope you understood these two examples, okay, which are very important to compound ratio. How we will find out the compound